Howdy there, everybody. A couple days ago, I entertained myself by watching Piranha, the 2010, right? 2010 remake. Again, I was just bored and wanted something uplifting and to make me happy. So I watched my recently purchased Blu-ray copy of Piranha, and I love this movie. Again, I watch it to feel happy. I have to give it an 8. I am a little biased, but I mean, even objectively, I think it's a solid 7. You know, if you aren't into all of the elements that I'm into, I think you could still give it a 7. I'll give it an 8 just because, you know, I can't give it a 9. I kind of want to, but then I feel silly. It's about a earthquake letting loose, opening up a fissure in a lake, and the fissure opens a underwater tunnel to a prehistoric underwater lake that's been, you know, hidden for millions of years, and it lets loose an ancestor of the piranha, and they are badass. And in the millions of years that they have been shut off from the rest of the world, they have become even more vicious and cannibalized and enormous. And then so they get loose and wreak havoc on spring break. Of course, it's spring break. And yeah, and so they eat a lot of people, and basically just a lot of people die in this movie. A lot of people die in grotesque, hilarious, gory fashion. Okay, it stars quite a bit of people. It has Adam Scott, Elizabeth Shue, Ving Rhames, Jerry O'Connell, in probably his best performance. Who else is in there? There's a lot of, obviously, a lot of teenagers. Let's see, I guess I can find his name here. I will guess that his name is Stephen R. McQueen. And maybe the other teen is Jessica Zor. They play the young would-be lovers. Also has cameos from Christopher Lloyd and Richard Dreyfuss. This is the third time I've seen the film. I saw it in the theater in 3D, which I absolutely loved. I rented it soon after it came out, loved it, and I bought it recently. Just another blockbuster is biting the dust. So they were selling their inventory, and as you can imagine, I took advantage of their clearance sale. So I picked up Piranha as well as a few other films. But I was kind of down in a funk, and nothing like Piranha to get me up again. Let's see here. Written by Peter Goldfinger and Josh Stolberg. I'm not familiar with those names. Directed by Alexander Aja, who did the remake of The Hills Have Eyes. Now he's done the remake for Piranha. I think he's done something else. Maybe the House of Wax remake? He's, I guess, a remake master. Anyway, I think this perfectly captures, you know, Piranha. The original Piranha was Roger Corman. You know, a Roger Corman classic, arguably maybe his most famous or best film. That's tough to say with Roger Corman, seeing that he's made maybe 1,000 films. Also, Piranha 2 was the directorial debut of James Cameron, also produced by Roger Corman. I don't think Roger Corman's a producer here. He is not. It is produced by the Weinstein brothers, so there is that level of class. Alexander Aja is also a producer. I think it's, it lives up to the Piranha name. I think it kind of lives up to the Roger Corman name. It has this spirit about it. I don't know. It's a free feeling spirit. Just making something to be no more than what it is, and taking free rein in that, and doing it very well. It doesn't try to be anything more than what it is. It's called Piranha, so it gives you Piranha. I think the acting is okay. It's fine. I think the real star here is the story. I mean, it's obviously, a lot of people just dying, but I think it remains focused on a family story about this young love. It never gets too much out of that. It focuses on that while giving us all sorts of carnage, while keeping our main characters relatively intact, while watching a lot of satellite characters and anonymous people just get torn to shreds. I love this film. I love Piranha, to begin with. They're one of my favorite animals. The original Piranha and Piranha 2 were some of my favorite films as a kid. I had a freezed, dried piranha that they sold in the stores all the time back in the late 80s. I had one of those freeze-dried piranhas. I love Piranha. I love films about that are man versus nature, where man is just destined to lose. I love nudity. There's lots of glorious nudity in this film. That was like the highlight of the theatrical experience. It's like they advertised it as, nudity had never been done in startling 3D, whatever. And I don't think it had been. And it was fantastic. And it's still, without the 3D, I mean, there's definitely some cheese. Just stuff coming out of the screen that's not coming out of the screen. So it's like you could tell they obviously directed it for 3D. So it maybe didn't age too well to the home viewing experience, but there's not too much of that. So you can kind of ignore it. But they shot some of these underwater swimming scenes in 3D, and they did look gorgeous in the theater. Here they're still gorgeous because the women who have to do it are absolutely gorgeous. So it just captures this. You can tell that they had a great time making this movie because it's a great time to watch the movie. And that spirit comes across. That energy just permeates the entire film. Really just kind of honestly crackles. And even when Christopher Lloyd is there, and he is definitely the most cliched character in the film, it's still great, even though he doesn't do anything more than what you're expecting. He still nails it. It's still Christopher Lloyd. And it's perfect. So I think it just is kind of a love letter to film. It's a love letter to the Roger Corman midnight monster movies, and I think it stands along with them. I think it's one of the better horror films in recent years, I think it stands up there. Like with The Descent or with Drag Me to Hell. Maybe it's not as truly progressive as those films, but I think it, you know, again, that spirit and the homage to the past, I think, really takes it up a notch. Again, I think the story here is the star. The acting is okay, well directed. I think it's Alexander Aja's best film. The sequel is coming out. That's another reason I wanted to watch it, is because I believe the sequel comes out at the in the summer sometime, towards the end of summer, I believe. So, you know, I'm excited. I'm ready for it. So yeah, for me, this is like feel-good movie of the year. I love it. So that's Piranha, and that's a solid 8 for me. Thank you.